get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Pregaming here at Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. You know how we do. We're trying to get that cash, take those names, and hurt them bookies. And today feels like a good day to do just that. Appreciate everybody. Hope everyone had a good work week. Here we are at the weekend. TGIFF. And a card. What a card today. Only one NHL game. 14 of them yesterday. Only one of them today. Huge NBA card. Quite a few NBA plays. Widening out in the NBA. Then we've got college basketball. And let's see, time permitting. Yeah, we should have time. We should have time. I'll give you guys a little FCS spot that I'm on tonight. Yeah, they're playing in the playoffs. We'll take a little FCS action. I rolled the teaser together. I spend a lot of time following the FCS, but I always like to get involved in the playoffs. I always like their playoff format. Very much what the FBS, I think, is trying to accomplish now with expanding out and getting these teams in there. And I do have like 4 plays for tomorrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Only 3 plays. Only 3 plays for the FCS. So maybe we'll release those to the members. But speaking of members, and frankly, Goose and Gander at this point, Sub Club is open for business this weekend. Sub and I were shooting some soccer videos this afternoon for the EPL. So we've got 5 total. Members, get in there. Took some of the best for you guys. And then again, the other 3 are out there for the entire community. But as promised, if you guys take the opportunity to believe in supporting us, we will continue to provide some unique differences for you guys. So let's get this cash. Like I said, there's 5 for tomorrow. There's 1 for Sunday. There's 1 for Monday. I got to finish. As a matter of fact, I couldn't finish because of this show. So we will get back to clipping those other 2 and getting those out there for everybody to enjoy as well. So hope everybody's doing well. Yesterday, told everybody. What were you thinking taking the 49ers? So you know how sometimes we talk about the tools. We talk about the technology. Then we talk about the expertise. And here's the benefit. No disrespect to the young gamblers out there that are going to grow and learn and be fantastic as they embrace all 3 of those components. But sometimes you just got to take a step back and look at it and be like, look, I've seen this before. It's not my first time seeing it. If everybody's hurt, they're probably going to win. It's that simple. Now, look, Bosa did play out there. But you know which ones are, they're almost automatic plays. When you see the offensive line hurt, especially when you got a shyster like Brock Purdy out there. You know, I heard the 4-0 Thursday night numbers out there. I got it. I get it. But what did we say? We had a counterpoint to every single opportunity that was shared. And what was that counterpoint? Well, Thursday night football sucked for a long time. There were bad games, mismatches galore. Here's one for you. Brock Purdy is now 1-8 against the spread, playing against teams with a winning record. You know when that goes back to? Last Christmas. Literally. Look it up. 1-8 against the spread. And they're putting that guy in a favorite role when his offensive line is beat up and dinged out. Just because I need to win the lotto doesn't mean it's going to happen. And that's our big takeaway from that game. What else happened in the world of sports yesterday here? I didn't have time to put the banners together, so I'm going to try to put them in on the fly with you guys today. So be patient. Look, unfortunately, no touchdowns were scored. It didn't matter. You know what's messed up about that one? And here's where I still got to learn from my mistakes. Now, I don't know how you can't know. They said drizzle. That was anything but a drizzle in the first half of that game. But taking a big giant chalk stick like Kyron Williams to score a touchdown, it's not even my style. I mean, we lost. Either way, it was a loss. No one scored a touchdown, but I don't know. I'd rather much lost a plus 1,000 than a plus 350. It was disappointing. I gave this son of a bitch out like 7 different times last night. If you guys watched that live stream, we gave it out here. You guys got it, and it cashed. It kept oscillating around that line all night. And every time it did, I gave it out again. So Chattanooga gets there for us, the easy under. Another easy under was the Sacramento Kings under 231.5. Never in doubt. Those were both sharp plays, by the way. Remember, we talk about the sharp steam play that I get the notifications on at this golden hour. This was a push. I had a lot of pushes yesterday. I had played a couple other games as well, and they pushed. So I think I had like 4 yesterday, and this was one of them. Now, this was live up to 13.5, 14.5, 15.5. So remember trends. And when we start talking about some of those margins, right, the margin of victory, the coverage and blowing them out, it's a good indicator for you guys to keep an eye on. Maybe just put a star next to it when you write it down, knowing that there's a hefty enough margin that if you can catch better than the 10 points, jump in on it. Now, this son of a bitch lost. Dallas, suspect. And so is Boston. In hindsight, that Boston line didn't do what we needed it to do. It kind of sat there at minus 115 pretty much all day. That was not good. But Edmonton won. They got there for us. And the Jets did not. So that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. As they say. And what a tremendous live stream it was, guys. I appreciate everybody that did come out there and hang out with us. You know that's where we make that money. We had a lot of fun doing it. Got to go back to the whiskey store. That's gone. But it happens. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thursdays, man. Going after it hard Thursdays makes it tough for Fridays. Woo! And then to do editing on some videos on top of it. Man, it's like you get the spins and the shakes all at once. So let's go to work, you guys. Now is the time. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. Listen, I say it all the time. Takes you just a second. Doesn't cost you a thing. But it does help promote the growth here. And the more people that find us by way of YouTube sharing with like-minded individuals, the more they will come in to hang out with us. The more they will come in to share their winning plays with us. The more money we will all make in turn. So take the time, if you haven't done so now, close those comments out. Hit that thumbs up. Then pop those comments back in and we'll get to work. Okay. Welcome in. Let's go. Let's make some money tonight, you guys. It's that time. Get the pen and paper out. The best in the business do assemble right here, right before it's time to roll. They've been marinating in the card all day. They're sharing their best bets with you, me, and everybody else that pops in here. So let's take the time to get the notebooks, pens, and paper ready. I got mine ready. I'm ready to roll. Let's go. Jover got nothing for us today. Still the first commenter. But he's got no best bet. That's okay. You don't want to force it. Sometimes just take from a couple other folks. That's okay. It's all good. Shout out to Trans Canada, Nicholas, my guys in the house, Old E, Trisha M, Chosen one, JPZ. Let's go, baby. Leon, plus 2.5, live dog. 2.5. Are they really a dog, JPZ? I mean, yeah, because of the plus. That was kind of a little sweaty, though. It was a 1-point victory. It was a tight game. We cashed. I should have put that one out there for the members. Let's go. Oldie says, I have some obscure hardwood action. If y'all need the scratch and it, yeah, of course we do. Check the chosen one, says Evan Mobley just ruled out. He says, I ain't lying. That's a nice one. It's a nice catch. Nice cash. Yeah, we bet Euro stuff. Yeah, of course we do. Sometimes we share back and forth. I wasn't even going to get into it, but Peasy was messaging me earlier about a couple plays he liked, and I was like, all right, man, let me crack this thing open and see what we can do. And we got some cash, so that was fun. Let's go. Drew Scalosa. Shout out to Drew Scalosa. Welcome. Haven't seen you in here before, or at least comment before. And we appreciate you coming, hanging out with us. Let's go. What's up to Big Scott? He's ready to roll. Hurricanes, -0.5 first period and the puck line. Nebraska, -4. South Dakota State, +9. Okay. Each and every stride's in the house. Let's roll. Joe W. Subhuman Gaucho. Fresh off of recording 7 EPL games for you guys this weekend. And he's back in the chat, ready to roll. Googly-eyed UFC ring girl, ready to roll. Omar Ballo, Indiana, to record 2 assists at -125. Only play until they tell all of mine. Okay, well, that puts the pressure on. So to M, says 49ers hurt me. 49ers hurt a lot of people. You know, it's messed up, too, because right at the end, like right when we were doing the live stream, you know, you get those updates, those last-minute text messages. I follow some of the books, right, because I want to see what their marketing staff says about where their needs are. Generally hoping that they're not lying, but it's more just a litmus test, more kind of a weather vane, see which direction things are blowing. The most favorable outcomes for the books last night. That was the Niners to win, the Rams to cover, and the game to go under. So the books got 2 and 3. And look, we talked about this, right? Keep this one in mind. Second half of the season, week 11 passed. So right now, in the next couple, till the season's over. 2 teams that are in the same division that play outdoors are going under. And they're going under over 60% of the time. Keep it in mind. Bear that one down. We're going to see that play a part for a couple of these, especially now that they've redone the schedules. And a lot of teams will play divisional matchups head-to-head at the end of the season to make it relevant. And then it will be under season. So get ready, get set, we'll go. M says Debo was wide open. Yeah. It was an ugly game. Clearly. Respectfully. Yeah. Trisha M, did you see the score? What do the Ice Cats do on a Thursday? They go under. Oh, man, let's go. Gaucho, my boots are still on. I might just sleep in them. Just got the call. Full team push, 7 a.m. tomorrow. It will happen. Stop Geo-engineer. Let's go, my friend. I hope all is well with you. Phil the kill. And there's our guy, Oldie. Blessing our action, getting us started, helping us grow this community. I do appreciate you, Old E. Takes time to be here every day with us. Gives Sports Money member. It gives all over the YouTube community. That is one generous mofo. Shout out to you, Old E, giving us that. Giddy up. Let's go. Blessing the action tonight. JPV in the house. Let's use that. Let's use that to launch. Let's launch. Let's go. I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are ready to go as well. Let's go. Game number 1. We'll talk about that. The lone spot in the NHL card. Oh, shit. Hang on just one second. Let me interpret this. Jeez. All right. Let's talk about I got a couple ways to attack this card, this game. And I certainly encourage the 3 wide. We'll go one official with you guys here, and we've got the Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes. And all the action is on the Carolina Hurricanes. 94% of the bets, 94% of the cash. I should have looked at this one. So I copied this out of my database, and I didn't. And then we started doing the soccer stuff, and I didn't take the time to interpret this one. So it's gonna be phonetic. I'm gonna spell it out phonetically here. Linus Ullmark will start for the Ottawa Senators. He's got a 2.7 goals against average, and he's got an 8-7-2 record. This will be the first game of back-to-backs for the Ottawa Senators. And, Ullmark's not been terrible. Only 9 goals in the last 5 games is the thing. This is recent performance biased, sure, but 4-0-1 with a 94.4% save percentage. Got the arrow going up. He's a buy on. Kochetkov, 12-4, 2.64 goals against average. What did we see in that Carolina San Jose game? San Jose almost won that game. We got the plus 1.5. Wasn't official, but did say don't take 2.5. Don't take 2.5 at minus 120. Take 1.5 at plus 165. I specifically remember it because I did. And they won. Kochetkov is okay. 21 of 23 numerically. That Sharks team, they ain't so good. Now they did win again last night. So, but look at 3 or more goals in 4 of his last 5 starts. That's the down arrow. That's the sell arrow. Now, look, it's Carolina Hurricanes, but everybody's on. They got a ton of cash pouring in on this thing here, and yet we got some downtick in the line on the Ottawa Senators side of things. That should be a red flag for sure if you're thinking about Carolina. And look at Carolina's games. The last 2 1-goal games. It'll be interesting to see if they can match. Look at the firepower with this Ottawa Senators team. They just torched Anaheim 5-1. They still put up 2 in a 4-2 loss to the Islanders. They beat Nashville, suspect Nashville team 3-1. They take down Detroit. They're firing. They're scoring. The puck's finding the back of the net for the Senators, and that is oh so important, especially when your goalie in his last 5 games is on a buy and the opponent's goalie is on a sell. Doesn't hurt that they're over minus 200. Now, a couple things for you guys to consider. We're getting to that point in the season. You'll remember last year over at that other place, we got some teams that you just played factors. And if you just played the Sabres, the Sharks, and the Flyers, and you're between 1 and 2 days rest with a 6.5, you're 3-17 to the under. Not only is it going under, it's going under by almost 1.8 goals per game. Very important to note with the 6.5 that we're seeing those unders like that. I'm going to go official. I'm going to give you guys the Ottawa Senators as my official side in this one. I'll tell you what. If you guys really want to know, you can DM me on Twitter, and I'll break this one down for you. 953 and 796. I know that if you're on the road, you were just at home, and the line is larger than a plus 140. And the opponent didn't just come off of a home loss as a favorite. 953 and 796. I guess I did okay with that on the fly. Total has to be over a 5.5 as well. So, look, if you're traveling after a home game and you're a big dog with a total greater than 5.5 and your opponent's not off a loss, home favorite, 953 and 796. That does say play on the Ottawa Senators. So you can look at it if you need the trend to help you feel that much better about it, so be it. The trend was just a cherry on the top for me. I was pretty much taking Ottawa. Last 5 games, right? We talked about not really being able to establish who these teams are until the 10-game mark, but that benchmark gives us that opportunity to compare what direction now are these guys moving in that second 10 games. And when we've got a goalie that's killing it in the last 5 and a goalie that's struggling in his last 5, I'll pick the Ottawa Senators in the first game of a back-to-back, or expecting them to just want to go out there and crack these guys over the skull. Obviously, they're going to give them their best effort. It's one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. We do know Carolina is the capital of the unders on the East Coast. And something that's very important to me, when I say going 3-wide, look, I like the Senators and the money line. I like the Carolina Hurricanes under, the game under, 6.5. And if you wanted to parlay the Ottawa Senators and the under, wouldn't be mad at you for that. You can catch an under 6.5 with the Ottawa Senators at plus 340. So a little unit management. If you believe in all the hyperbole I just spewed out, then the first thing I would suggest is take a half a unit on the Ottawa Senators and then another half unit on the Ottawa Senators and the under 6.5. That way, as long as the Senators win, you guaranteed yourself some profit. And if the Senators win and it stays under, you're going to turn 1 unit into 5 units. 1.75 plus 3.4, a little over 5. Actually, I guess I'm throwing that out of whack. It'd be half of that. My bad. That's my bad. Stupid. I was told I was stupid so much yesterday. I really might be stupid. Let's see. So if you did the half a unit, you'd be looking at what, 0.85, and then what, 1.7. So just over 2. Just over 2. You take 1 unit, turn it into just over 2. If you believe in that theory or that model. Think about how you want to play it. I'm officially giving out that Ottawa Senator side and the big plus money score. We've been catching some of these plus money scores here as we've been rolling, and it's been nice. So let's keep it rolling. Also, by the way, I got to come up with an official name for it. What are we going to call it? What is that? Bug on my cord. Ugh. I guess just a sharp report? I don't know. I'll think of something. I have pride looking at fucking videos and graphics all afternoon. Anyways, the sharp report had the Ottawa Senators all over it. The sharpest action coming in on it. So think about that. Despite 94% of the bets, 94% of the cash coming in on the Carolina Hurricanes, the Ottawa Senators were able to rise to the top and become a Steam Report special. Steam Report special? I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. You guys have, I know it keeps winning. Oh no, Chosen One, don't say that. Oh no, Ramon, don't say that. Oh no. Oh, shit. Vucevic, our guy. Sorry, Big Scott 5'10". Vucevic being out's an issue. Shit. Let me see if I can do something here on the fly. I'll tell you why it's an issue. I'm just going to sit here and complain about it. I parlayed Vuce over 1.5 threes with the Chicago Bulls to get a plus 145 number. What am I going to do? Well, I can't give that one out anymore since that's not an option. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's talk about some other games, though. We got plenty of action to get to here. Plenty of... Damn, I didn't realize I didn't move that either. Damn. All right. Okay. The Washington... The Washington Wizards, the Cleveland... You know what's going to happen now? That won't void my bet. It's just going to take that unit It's going to pay me based on the Chicago Bulls if they win on the money line, which was like minus 215. So it's like it's worthless investment. Oh well. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Sometimes we just get screwed from an injury report. Now, that's not a situation where I care about the injury factoring into my game. Let's be clear. It's just half my bet's not there because of the injury status. So it's not that I'm backpedaling and saying I care about these injuries. All right. Washington Wizards, Cleveland Cavaliers. The line opened up at 17. It's gone down to 16.5, which is reverse line movement. We have 67% of the bets and 69% of the cash on the Cavaliers. Then we look at the total. It's gone up 2 points from 230.5 to 232.5. We have 58% of the bets and 62% of the cash on the over. So keep it in mind. The bets, for anybody that's new here, I see we got a bunch of new eyeballs in here. The bets, typically the public, it's all the tickets that are being issued, right? Parlays, teasers, adjusted lines. Like it's all of it, all the tickets, all the soup. Then you look at the cash, and the cash is typically the bigger bettors. They're not messing around with parlays or teasers. They're coming in with a dime or 10 dimes or however many dimes, and they're saying, book me on said side. So 67% of the public is issuing cash on the Cavs. 69% of the sharp bettors are betting in on the Cavs. And guess what the line's done? They've made it more attractive. That's the red flag if you're thinking about the Cavaliers. And then as far as the total is concerned, I mean, look, here's the thing. I get why you want to be on the Cavs. That's too many points for me. Number one team in covering the spread in the NBA, I get it. Makes a lot of sense. The Wizards, like the worst team in the NBA covering spreads, I get it. Makes a lot of sense. But the Wizards just won't fucking go away. I know that they're 100-point plusers. Now, the last time they played Cleveland, it was 87-118. That was at Cleveland. They did not perform. They got busted up. Something fierce. Just 4 games ago. So is there the revenge narrative in there? Yeah. I mean, the more I talk about this Wizards side, the more I kind of like it. The line looked at 234.5 the last time that they played. So they dropped it down 4 points because of the lack of performance. And yet the cash has moved it back up to 2. So 230.5 is where it opened. It was at 234.5 the last time they played. Now it's at 232.5, and it's sitting right in the middle. What I'll tell you is this. I can't believe the Bulls, man. Stinks. Teams that are longer than a plus 12.5. That means huge dog, right? Longer means shorter because of the double negatives, if that makes sense to you. Teams longer than a 12.5 are 23-5 against the spread to the over. If they attempted more than 96 field goals the last game and more than 15 free throws the last time these two teams met. And it's crushing the total. It's crushing the total by 11 points. This is where we find that buy low scenario. They took it down 4 points from where it was. We got an 11-point margin. We had this team just puke their nuts up the last time they played these guys. And we're going to jump in, and we got a nice little 23-5 trend in our back pocket. So play number 2 will be the over 232.5. Let me see what we got. Yeah, there's 232. It's pretty much across the market. It's a pretty firm market right now for the 232.5. So we will jump in on that. I'm just going to shorthand this because I didn't do it. Because I ran out of time. There it is. Some of you guys want to see it, to believe it. There you go. Maybe you're watching it back on replay. Let's go to this next game. I don't know. It doesn't even make sense to talk about. I'll tell you this. Let's see. What am I going to tell you? The line opened at 5.5. It's sitting at 5.5. It did move up to some 6.5s, but I guess with that loose news, they've kind of brought it back down. Man, that is like our show player, isn't it, too? What a bum. 66%. I'm not going to say that. I take that back, Loose. I'm sorry. Sorry, you're not a bum. You're not a bum. You've been daddy's little cash cow. I'm just disappointed in your choices on a big Friday night for me. 66% of the bets and 69% of the cash are on the Bulls. And yet 5.5s have moved. Like I said, well, we just talked about it. 232 is the total. Some 233s out there with 66% of the bets and 65% of the cash. Look, the Bulls are 11-0 after a home loss that stayed under the total. That's both straight up and against the spread. So they're a bounce back team. And this is a bounce back position. I'm just not going to. I'd be rushing at this point to try to find a fill-in replacement player. I don't even know if there's anybody that I'd like on any of these teams anyways. Let me just take a quick peek. I mean, PJ Williams just sat out, so he would probably be a guy that you could strongly consider filling. If you wanted to do that, if you were looking to get back in on that play, let me just see something here. Nah, there's no play for me. Sorry to waste everybody's time. 11-0 though. 11-0 straight up and against the spread. Fucking Boos. Gonna get mad? What are you gonna do? Lakers and the T-Wolves are what we're gonna do. Some issues, man. I don't know if you guys went down that LeBron James rabbit hole. But woo! Let me ask you this. What's a grown-ass man in a professional basketball association doing dressing up as a French maid? Something doesn't seem right about that, does it? Like some of those stories you hear, you're kind of like, okay, I guess I can see it now since I had to see that. With that being said, I'm not going to wade into those waters here. The Lakers are up to a +9, and you got 50% of the bets and 54% of the cash on the Lakers. French maid's outfit, grown-ass man. Steve Bailey. Mike, does DK site in Pennsylvania allow you to do a same-game parlay in the NHL with the inclusion of team totals? My site in New Hampshire seems to have removed team totals in same-game parlays. Huh. Well, I'm in New York now, Steve. But I know there's limitations. I'll have to look. I'm in the NHL right now anyways. It allows... No team totals in same-game parlays. Limited options, too, across the board for them. So, well, some of them are a little bit more bulky. But, all right. Damn, still pissed about that Boost news. And we just covered the spreads. The numbers moved. Obviously, it's moved because of LeBron James. Now, I told you the other day, and it shouldn't be too hard to figure out where I'm on. When I heard that LeBron James was out, I took him. I didn't even cap the damn thing. I said, I'm just taking him anyways. So 217s moved down to 213.5. That accounts for the total, the LeBron James factor, I guess. 89% of the bets and 87% of the cash. Here's the thing, though. It's a big opportunity for a guy like Anthony Davis to step the fuck up and put some of those naysayers to rest here. Him, Austin Reeves, why not see these boys go out there and have a big night tonight? Now, if you want to look at some of the specifics around who they're playing, how about this? The Timberwolves, single-digit home favorite versus rested teams. Meaning they're not going to, and I know that we're flirting with this line at 9, but the Timberwolves are 0-9 in those spots. Home favorite, single digits, rested opponent. And in those spots, they've lost 6 of them outright. You're going to give me 9 points against a Minnesota team that 9-14 against the spread? I mean, that's too many. That's just way too wide a number at this point. And you got the validation behind it. Now, I know the numbers are skewed because of the LeBron James factor there with some of the cash flow, but that's good enough for me. It's good enough for me to take that +9. You get a nice little -110 on the +9. Yup. How about that? You know, it's funny. I said this before too, but like everybody was 2 years ago. Oh, I got to wait for the injuries. Soon they're out. It's not going to affect the line. It's already in the line. We already know that they're in there. We already know the situation. The books already know the situation. We're going to take advantage. We'll fade them boys. Now, should they win outright? Probably not. Is it possible? Sure. 2/3 of the times that the Timberwolves are in that position, they lose outright. And a +320, maybe parlayed with that Ottawa Sounders? I don't know. Well, I do know we're going to give the Clippers a chance to get themselves off the shit list. You get yourself on there. But every so often, you got to give a little gentle reminder. And we've got it going on right now. We've got a dead split between these two here. And yet the line has come down from 7.5s to 5.5s. There's still some 6s out there. But big move for a coin flip side. There's a lot of traction coming in from the book's perspective and taking these Clippers. The totals jumped up 3 points, 226s. You got 79% of the bets and 75% of the cash on the over. But the late money is taking the under now in this game. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that, when we see what's going on with Denver at home, it's not the juggernaut that it used to be. I think this is a great opportunity for that lower scoring battle now. I think that this line has gone up too high. I think that's a little head fake in terms of the cash flow movement. But 50-50 splits are absolutely tough to kind of pick a side on. But that being said, I'm going to take a side. I like what's going on with this Clippers team here. Now, it's hard to say that because they're averaging under 109 points a game. But they're also keeping their opponents down. And now they're starting, that slow tempo just messes teams up. That's what I like about the Clippers. Last year, we were hammering their unders because they were just one of those teams that grinds you down, wears you out. And then when they're done, their effectiveness with the shooting, because they do have some ballers, can go out there and make it happen. But they've done us dirty. Did us dirty. And, at the same time, I don't know, the Nuggets, I could comfortably get in on a fade with these guys. The Clippers have owned the Nuggets. At the end of the day, it just seems like when you've got this history, you step up for teams that are some of the top of the class in the West. The West is so competitively balanced right now as well that you got to look at a team that does go out there and handle another team, and the Clippers beating the Nuggets. And you got to say, you're giving me 6 points? If they already dominate them, are they likely to go out there and get busted up by a 6 spot? No. More likely they do win outright. Maybe. It's the LA parlay. Money lines. What does that pay? Sometimes you got to say it aloud to talk yourself into it. And it's almost 10-1. The Clippers and the Lakers. That's not going to be where I refill. I've got a spot that I'll add in there for us here when it comes to making up for that bull spot tonight, because I try to keep a consistent number in play here. I think that's it for the NBA. I think that's all I got for you guys in the NBA. I'll tell you this. You know what? Nah. I'll give you this one too. Teams off a 2 or more game road trip are 44-10 to the over. They're going over by 10 points as well if they trail after the third on average this season and their opponent's off a big loss. Let's see what this line is doing here. I had it circled. I had it yesterday. It came in yesterday because there was such a light card on the NBA side. It came in yesterday as an identified early steam candidate. So there were 2 of them. One of them was the Sixers-Pacers game. The other game was the Suns and Jazz game. And it's moving. We have 77% of the bets and 81% of the cash on the over. 229 has moved to 231.5. And the market continues to climb to the over. 233.5, 234s as well. This little fucking potato bug's about to get nuked. I know it's going to make a mess. All right, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over in the Suns and Jazz game here. Let's make that one official. That'll be a little replacement spot for missing out on this other game. All right, we'll just take that. We'll take that one and put that in the old radar. 233.5 looks like the best number I can get right now. And yeah, I mean, look, a lot of this comes down to the fact that the Jazz are coming off that beatdown. They just got busted up. They also had 3 straight road games, so they fall into this criteria. 2 or more road games. They had 3. They trail on the third period in average, and they're off a big loss. Well, you just lost 141-97. That's got to qualify as a big loss. It's fucking 50 points. Then you see they've gone over their last 3 games as well. So despite their malaise when it comes to going out there and performing, They still pop the overs. And guess who else goes over? The Suns. And the thing about this one here, and when I kind of looked at this initially, I saw the Suns usually get some of these smaller numbers, 224, 224, 214s. Those were road games. But now the books all of a sudden put this thing up to 232 as well. It showed that there was some concern. There was some vulnerability out there. I get why it was an early Steam report. It would have been nice to have it last night. Just not the way I rolled. I did hear Lauri Markkanen should be in for this game, and we know that the Suns will have all the big boys going. KD, Bradley Beal's probable as well. So we'll take this over. We'll talk ourselves into this over. Let me just make this official. Just bear with me here so I can put this in. I'll tell you guys what I actually took it at. Always nice to do that. Be on the know. Be on the up and up. Be transparent, as they say. All right, there's a 233 and a half. 233 and a half is sitting over there at Fanatics. I'm going to take that right now. Okay. All right, guys. Not to be a mess here with this thing, but look, the Boost News got me. So in case you guys are wondering, like, what's the hemming and hawing going? I've said this before. There's you guys, if you're new here, there's a specific number of games. We measure and manage a lot of different numbers, looking at our processes, our plays, what works and what doesn't work. And I've always been a volume guy, and I know that I need to have about 10 plays in there for me to be able to, 9 to 10 plays seems to be my sweet spot. I can go on a big rip and have a nice little 15, 20 unit day. And it seems like at worst, I'm going to be, batting around a 500. And so that's kind of why when I get that news about Voos coming out, well, I'm pissed because I got that unit tied up in him now, and it's going to pay me out at a half a unit. They'll probably go on and cover anyways, and I'll be even more screwed for taking it the way I did. But anyways, that's kind of why the hemming and hawing was taking place. Let's go. Let's talk about these. We got 2 games in college hoops for you guys. And I really love the college. Actually, 3. I'm sorry. What am I saying? 3 games in college hoops. I really love the college hoops card. I know it's a small one, but man, it just lit me up. It just lined up. It lined up. And yeah, you'll see my team's in there. I don't know how these guys became my team, but they did. We'll start with Omaha. Let's look at Omaha and Northern Iowa. And I'll tell you, from a Steam report, this one came through candidate number 1. They love this total. They love the over. I had to look at it. I had to break in there and say, what's going on with this thing? Do I get on board with it as well? The total, the side started at 13.5, hasn't moved. You got 57% of the bets and 52% of the cash sitting there on Omaha. Then you look at the total, it's gone from 139.5 to 141.5. So you got 2 points of movement upwards, 64% of the bets and 64% of the cash. So it does trick or check that box that says, yeah, the sharps are hitting it. The books are concerned. Let's take that deeper dive, right? Because when you look at a big card, sometimes you have to kind of, that's the weather vane stuff. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. It's kind of the smoke and fire, right? If there's smoke, there's got to be fire. What's going on with this game and why is it there that's catching this action that it is? Well, upon further review, as bad as Omaha is, they're 4-7, and Northern Iowa is 5-4. Omaha doesn't quit. They cover spreads. And, they're out there and they're doing it to the tune. I'll tell you exactly what they're doing it to the tune of here. Overall on the season against the spread, 6-0 on the road. 6-0, 6-3 as a dog. What does that tell you? They don't fucking quit. Hit him with a stick, kick him in the face, club him like a baby seal. They're still coming back at you. It don't matter. Look at who they played. Look across the board on some of their scheduled games here. The Akron spot, 92-84, but look, they wouldn't quit. Now they were getting 11.5. They cover. 65-59 against Lamar. I'm not going to go out there and say Lamar's world beaters, but neither is Northern Iowa. And they go out there and they win outright as a favorite. And it goes on and on and on. They've also played some big schools in their challenge already this year. So they are somewhat, they're a big road team. They're road warriors. And I'm going to say they're somewhat battle tested as well. They played a UNLV squad. Dude, they were getting 16.5 points against UNLV. They covered that spread, and they soared over the number. Northern Iowa. Let's look at Northern Iowa. Let's validate the smoke and fire thing. Nuke that thing there. It's enough. You're done. All right. Northern Iowa. Shooting juggernaut. They're top 10 in the nation in 3 points. They're top 10 in the nation in field goals. Not even that. They're 4th overall in field goal across the nation. Now, yeah, they play some shit schools in there too, but you got a team in Northern Iowa that is effective and efficient at shooting the rock. They suck at free throws, by the way. We hope it doesn't come down to a free throw game. But then again, you got a team in Omaha that's going to push the pace. They're going to push you to keep rolling and going. And that's plenty good for us to take a shot at this over. We'll get on board with the Sharps. Why the hell not? They make money. We might as well make it too. We'll take this over 141.5. Expect this thing to be a barn burner. First team to 75 wins? Probably. I had an index out there around 151. So I think we still have about 10 points in our back pocket on this thing. That's good enough. We'll roll on. We'll roll onward and upward here to Weber State and Utah Tech. Look how excited I get just talking about Weber State. I don't even know why. I don't know. 83% of the bets and 86% of the cash are on Utah Tech. And that's not where you want to be. Over 143 has climbed up to 144. But with 89% of the bets and 87% of the cash, I'm not sure that 1 point's a good enough number here to jump in and take advantage of this side of things here. Weber State 4-6 on the season. Utah Tech, the old Trailblazers, are 2-9. I think points are going to be at a premium for this game. And then when they're at a premium, that means I got to look at the favorite. And I got to say, what the hell's going on here? Can the favorite come out there and pull this thing out for us? And the road team is a favorite in Weber State. That's how bad Utah Tech is. Furthermore, you want to look at some Utah Tech. How about this? So they're bad, and they're a dog. And they're bad, and they're a dog a lot. 4-6 Weber State isn't great. But, hear me out. Utah Tech is a dog. After a spread loss of more than 32 points, after they got busted up, they are 0-11 in that dog roll the following game. They are not a bounce-back team. They are just got flattened by a pancake team, and they're waiting for the town guy to come up and scrape them up and put them in the garbage bag. And they're losing by 17 points a game in those spots. 17 points a game. So that tells me Weber State could potentially go out there and win this game by, are they the 20-point better? Probably not, but it should be good enough. They should be good enough to slide in the back door on this thing here and get the outright win and cover this thing. Probably win this thing by 8 or 9 points. Overall, we're also getting the opportunity to buy low on Weber State. They've only covered the spread once in their last 4 games. So we got a shit team in Utah Tech that can't cover the spreads after they get flattened like a pancake. And we got a buy low opportunity on a team that's going to go out there and win this thing by a 10-pack. Yep. Sometimes trends be our friends. And today that's very much the case here. We'll take the -3 with a little Weber action. With a lean. I'll give you guys the lean too. I lean to that first half under. For sure. Oh, show. All right. Last game for college hoops. Reverse line movement galore. You got a road dog that's a huge public favorite. I think it's the biggest road dog public favorite on the night. There's a reason you hear some of these things over and over and over because they matter. 80% of the bets and 83% of the cash have come in on South Dakota State. The old Jackrabbits. And what has the line done? Move 2 points over and making it even more attractive to bet. South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. Colorado Buffalo. Then we look at the total. It's gone from 146 down to 144.5. 74% of the bets and 72% of the cash have come in on the over, and yet it's coming down. misleading. Don't just look at that record at 8-4 with the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. When they play anybody of size, they're little guys. They're little guys. Watch for this game when they line up. You're going to be like, holy cow, he's right. Colorado's big and beastly. You see bully ball. They're 7-2 overall in the season. They're at home on a Friday night with elevation. And they're going to be playing these little guys that don't match up very well against big bruisers. I love double dip in this game, but I'm going to take the overall spot with Colorado. I'm going to take the -9. Why the full game and not the first half? Think about last night when we talked about that football game, the NFL. With all those injuries, we want to let the team that's better, that's healthier, we want to let them get the benefit of the full game. And I think when you're looking at how a team matches up and the size that they carry, you want to let the team that has the size advantage bully them boys up and down the court, tire them out. And then when they're finally gassed, you slide the old dagger in there and finish them off. And that's exactly the way I expect this game to go. I expect that the bigger size will prevail. We've seen that just from some previous spots. And, when you look at kind of who South Dakota's played, if you want to look for a player profile perspective or a game profile, these guys just played in Nevada. Nevada's a big team. They're a physical bruiser. And they busted them up. 11.5-point favorites, or 11.5-point dogs. They won 77-63. Second half separation. They got gassed. You saw the hands on the hips. And that was, flatlands in Nevada. Now you're going to Colorado at elevation? On top of that, when you're going to get out there and get physical bully balled? Not mad at anybody that wants to play the first half, because I do think that Colorado's the superior shooting team. I just don't think it's a good spot whatsoever for this Jackrabbits team. And, look, they're not good at perimeter shooting. They do shoot free throws well. They do go out there, and that could hurt the backdoor potentially, but I expect them to be too tired to make a difference when it comes down to it at the end. And it's good enough for me. So we will take South Dakota, close up the show there with the college basketball spot. And look, I'll tell you what, I told you guys I'll give you an FCS game here. I'm not an FCS aficionado. I do watch the tournament. I started off saying that, and I do like me a little playoff football. I like playoff anything, right? I mean, who doesn't? Everything's amped up a little bit more. Players try just a little bit harder. The injuries don't hurt as much until after the game, so you see everything they got out there, and you get it and then some. And there's a couple of teams. We've seen overall when it comes to the FCS, like I'm not a big, don't draft quarterbacks. Stop with this fucking quarterback drafted in the first round nonsense. Like Carson Wentz, what a terrible move that was. Just because he's an FCS guy. Look, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, those are teams that can run some shop out there, for sure. But just because those are system teams. Those guys in those teams and those systems, doesn't matter who's in there. They're just winning championships year in and year out and year in and year out because there's just a talent gap. And I've been able to develop a system that produces results. Now, I'll tell you this. Just kind of I'll just give you the model, the total for the model here. I took Montana State and I took the over in a teaser. I got it at 8, so you could probably get an even better number now because I think it's come down to 13.5. The expectation is these Montana State snaps Idaho's neck. This should be a 21-point game, and you're catching it down just over a touchdown. And then the over, because they should throttle these boys. We'll see probably 17 points out of Idaho. We'll probably see a good 40 plus when it comes to this Montana State side. Even if it is a little bit closer, we're just looking for them to cover over the touchdown in that teaser for Montana State. And I think comfortably they do that. Again, I got them as a 21-point index for this game. And we've been pretty sharp with some of these index numbers. So I buy into them. I believe them. And look, as far as the total, yeah, because I do see it being, in that 40-17 range. Well, that puts us at 57. Now, the gap is wide, but if Idaho can show up, because it is a playoff game and anything can happen, Idaho does show up and keeps it a little bit closer, I'm not taking the under. I want to tease it down so I can take the over in case Idaho shows up. My numbers don't say Idaho's going to show up, but maybe they do. And so I teased it. I just took Montana State and Idaho, and I think it's good money. Let's see what the best number we can pick up right now is. How about that? Let's take a peek. I'll be able to do this right here on the fly, I don't think. No. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back in the lab. I'm going to finish editing these 2 videos for the sub club. We got Sunday and Monday European English Premier League action. Excuse me. Then I'm going to drop some nuggets for the South Alabama Western Michigan game. I've already played something there. And I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to give you guys a spot in this Navy and Army game, and I'll put some info together for you guys on that. So 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. games tomorrow for college football. We got a laid out slate. We're going to get some FCS action tonight and see if we can make that money. And we even pivoted on the fly. We even added a spot on the fly for you guys tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you had a great week, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. This is the time to remind everybody, UFC tomorrow. Tampa. Glorious card. It's going to be a ton of fun, and can't wait to get after it. And I think we're going to pick up a couple of commas and then some. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are as well. We'll be live. I think it starts at 7:15, so we'll probably go live around 6:30. It's the last one of the year. There's going to be some other spots to talk about with college basketball, the NBA, the NHL as well. We want to make sure we get enough time because it is I think it's 13 fights on the card. So if you haven't seen it before, check it out. We cover everything. We also give live plays, live bets, best bets for the evening sports slate. Just kind of the main course is the UFC, but there's a bunch of appetizers. It doesn't matter what sport you like. We'll talk live about the questions you have on those sports as well. And it's the sports money crew to do it. And nobody does it better than we do. So we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Same. Oh, I guess there's nothing the same about it, is it? But it is the same as you can catch the morning steam with Ramon Scott. You can see Ramon Scott do what he does at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. He'll take you through the entire sports card, get you guys wrapped up, have yourselves a nice afternoon, and then come back in for the evening, get some cocktails with us, have some fun, bust some stones, and make some cash. That's what it really is all about. And I just want to say thank you guys all for taking the time to come in here. Make sure you do hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door. Appreciate all of you guys. Love you guys, man. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Enjoy your Friday. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is good to go.
Snow, Curtis, blow, flow, fuck all you haters. From making big